All right, it says we're live.
We are?
According to the thing. I make no promises, though. With everything that has been going on today, I make no promises.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Is anybody out there that can hear us? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so now why is it showing the Rumble and okay, hold on. Now the numbers are the view count thing is on top of each other.
That's what I told you. That's what I saw.
No, but it doesn't show it on my end in the studio. It shows it on the live stream. So let
Right.
me make this just a little bigger.
It should be a little smaller.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I got to adjust it. Now
Well,
let
you
me see
said
if that worked.
well, you said make it bigger.
Well, I mean, I got to make the box around it bigger to get them to go side by side. No, that didn't work.
Oh, I was thinking you were doing them on top of each other. That's why I said
No,
smaller.
um I was trying to get them to do side by side. Oh my god, the stupid studio hates me.
We are experiencing technical difficulties today. Miss D was in a good mood until about 2 minutes ago, and now she is really pissed off.
No, Crazy Bee's not mad, and I hope you're not. I'm trying to get
I'm
this
just
fixed for
aggravated.
everything.
I'm
Ah,
aggravated.
got it fixed. Now I got it fixed. I
But
can
it
move
still
this
looks
stuff up a
crappy
little
on my
higher.
it looks crappy on my end.
I'm looking at what the viewers are watching right now on Rumble.
I see.
That's where I see the difference, and so there's a delay. So I'm hearing us talking what we said a few seconds ago as it's catching up, and everything's getting moved around.
Gotcha. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hold on, please. We are
We have
experiencing.
a viewer in YouTube and we have a viewer in Rumble.
That must be JJ out there somewhere in the Ethernet.
Or it's the bots.
Yeah, or it's the bots. It's probably our bots. I finally see a 1 and a 1.
Yep, those are the count.
Okay.
Okay, so now I got the link. Let me get that sent out, and that way we can actually get some viewers so they know we're live because, notifications don't get sent out the way they're supposed to, and,
Yep.
the platforms hate us.
Mm-hmm. One
And they're going to
moment,
hate me some
please,
more
while we
in a
send
few
out
days.
notifications. One moment, please. Please hold. We are experiencing technical difficulties.
We are experiencing higher volumes at this time. Please
Yes.
hang up and try again later.
Please 0 for our customer support services, who will gladly pick up the phone and hang up on you.
Yep, always. Always. Oh, I forgot to change the freaking thumbnail on Rumble. I'll get to that in a few minutes.
One
Oh my
moment,
god.
please. Crazy Bee is at it again. Uh oh.
Crazy Bee's trying to get her head on straight.
Uh
It's
oh. We
still
got
not
the.
working as planned.
Yes, the bot is in the house. The bot is in the house.
Woohoo. Yeah. Okay, got that straightened out. Oh, I see Four Corners over here on YouTube.
Hey, Four Corners.
Hello, Four
I don't
Corners.
see you yet, but
It'll pop up in the
there he
chat.
is. I see him. Hey, Four
Yeah.
Corners. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We are experiencing technical difficulties this afternoon, so one moment, please. If you're not
I'm
happy,
working on
please
it as
contact
quick
our
as I can.
yes.
As
If you're
quick as
not
I
happy, please
can.
contact our customer support services at 1-800. We don't give a shit.
I was going to say I can put him on the phone with my 12-year-old niece.
Or we could go for eight-year-old Jacob.
Oh, I'll recruit Lord Sterling's bird Loki to handle
Yeah,
our customer service.
there you go.
I will recruit Loki. That's how you do this.
Yes.
Got it. And if you don't know who Lord Sterling is, Common Censored on Rumble. Another great, great person to watch. Come on,
Yes, so I
copy.
did say before we went live that I had been in a good mood until this all happened. Well, I
Well, it
experienced.
started when my dad called.
No, I don't know anything about your dad calling, but it
Yep.
started for me when I got in here, and now I'm mad. Uh-oh, we got
What?
three
Well,
on Rumble.
good. We're
Else
getting
on
there.
Rumble. There we go.
All right, folks. Sorry, I am really behind today. I do apologize. And we are getting there.
Yeah, one of our problems with the studio is we have to go live first, then get the notifications sent out. It runs a little bit differently than some of the other studios do, but we just went out on Rumble,
Yep, we're about to go out on
YouTube.
um I'm putting it on the Discord servers,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna drop it onto Twitter X and Truth Social.
So we
And
did
yes,
what?
I said Twitter X for the sake of my children.
There you go. So when we looked at studios, uh, you have Rumble Studio. Did we have to pay for Rumble Studio? No.
No, Rumble Studio was free, but
Right.
it's absolute
Really garbage.
nightmare. Yeah, you
So,
can't put all these overlays and cool things on there like
right.
we do.
So we
It
looked at
doesn't go well.
some other products, and one of the bigger ones out there that's being pushed is something called StreamYard.
I don't like StreamYard.
Yeah, when we looked at StreamYard compared to what we use now, we looked at them side by side. And the product that we use is called EvMux, or some people call it EVMux. And that happens to have some additional features that
At a
StreamYard
better
does not have
price.
at $5 a month less. And I
Yep.
did have some content creators come at me and say, "Oh, what's $5 a month, D?" Well,
A lot.
a lot when you're not getting any money. Because as I previously said, we are not accepting any monies from YouTube or Rumble. And Rumble had wanted to give us 10 cents for every 100 views, but we needed 1,000 views, so we would have made $1. Plus, they take 30%. It is the most
Yep.
ridiculous, absurd slap in the face to content creators, new ones at least. I don't know about the older people, the people previous to us. Uh, that were making any type of money, but it is truly a slap in the face. So, uh, YouTube is, we needed 300 subscribers plus 3,000 watched hours, and they take 30% as well. So, we opted not to do that.
Oh,
Uh,
and by the way, Rumble, if you donate to Rumble, they take 50% of it.
oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely. Hmm.
They take 50% until you're a partner with them, and then they give you all but 30, then they give you 70%.
Hey, JJ.
Hey,
Thank you.
JJ.
Thanks for checking in. Um, so, it is
It's a bloody mess.
yeah, it really is a sad situation. So once everything, our financials and banking gets situated, you'll probably hear me begging for money a couple times a week. As I've mentioned previously, we're over $400 in the hole getting this all set up, and I'd be better off begging somebody to give us $1, anybody $1 for one day, we would make more money than if Rumble paid us for our
Yep.
video. Instead of splitting 70 cents and us making 35 cents each, if somebody gave us $1 right now on the Cash App that's there, we would each get 50 cents. Woohoo. Yeah.
It's a
Huh?
start. Penny saved is a
Boy.
penny earned.
Wow. Did you really say that?
Yeah, because you know how many pennies I have laying around the house right now, but nobody wants to use them? I
Oh,
probably
I
have $5
know.
worth of pennies that nobody wants to take in because they're a pain in the butt. They're useless. Why do we even have pennies? It's currency, is it
Yeah,
not?
it doesn't
And you
doesn't
want something.
Doesn't your
right?
bank have, or your local grocery store have those automated, you drop the
Nope,
pennies in and they
nope.
count
The
them?
Coinstar got the Coinstar got taken out about 10 years ago.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I could get those tubes,
Yeah,
the rolls from the
right.
bank, and have the kids go and do that shit.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Keep them busy. I keep
I
mine.
remember my dad giving me that task when I was like 6 years old. He's like, "Okay, you
Mhm.
got to put $5 worth in here." Because it was what the quarters. No, the
Mm,
quarters are $10.
dollars, yep,
The nickels
or
are,
$2 or
and the
2,
dimes are five
yep,
dollars.
and the pennies are 50 cents.
Yep. And so I had to do the math, as a kid learning to do currency and stuff. That was one of the tasks my dad dumped on me, was rolling up the loose change around the house.
Well, here's the
It was
problem
fun.
I have is I have 2 polar water jugs filled with nothing but pennies. Do you think perhaps that I could have a rare penny that could be worth millions? What
There
would you?
is a chance.
Uh-huh.
It's like a 1 in a million, but there's a chance.
Uh-huh.
Just gonna point that out. Oh, but here, Chase. He
That's
must be
no,
saying
that's
hi to
Eric.
the.
That's Eric Senior. He has the dog. He's the big dog. So when you hear the
Ah.
when you hear the duck, that's EJ. So I just like 10 minutes ago said the podcast is starting. Don't bother me. Don't text me. Don't call. What happens? Eric texts me to tell me he's going on a call. Like I didn't need to know that. It's okay, but it's okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
so then I started keeping all of the change, and then I guess I have a touch of OCD because I didn't like all the coins mixed together. So I have the
I tend to
dimes in,
separate them too.
yeah, I have the dimes in one thing, the nickels in one. Yeah,
Quarters in another.
yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that must be there must be something wrong there. Hmm. Never thought of that way till just now. Anyway, we have a very big show today. We added on to what I don't even know
Some of
why.
the stuff we've been trying to cover for the last couple days.
Yes. And we get off track. We're going to try
Oh,
our
we
best
have so much
to
fun
stay.
doing it though.
Yes, we're going to try our best to stay on task today. There are no promises made, no promises kept. So, what do we got
Well,
up
with the
for?
exception of one that we have today, but that's not the first thing we're covering.
Oh, okay, that's true. All right. What do we got up first?
Well, first we were discussing how Gerald Ford became president in the most unique set of circumstances to
That's
ever
right.
have happened in American history.
Yeah, this was a we were when we every morning we go over what the show is going to entail, and Lord help me, please let us pray. Honest to God,
There's a do not disturb setting
I,
if you really are annoyed by him.
there's also a block setting too. Honest to
I
good.
like that one. I like that one.
But uh, every morning we go over what the show is going to entail, and we review the content. And of course, when you're an insomniac, you find all this stuff and you're like, oh, let's add this. Oh, let's do this. Oh, let's crazy bee, put this in there. Oh, let's do that. So this morning, as we went through this, we were talking about presidents, and crazy bee brought up Gerald Ford, and I never knew this little bit of information she was going to give. So I said, put it out there as our a trivial piece today. So this is where that came from. So Crazy Bee, have at it. Hey Art, how you doing?
Hey,
Thanks
Art.
for listening
So,
again.
I had to refresh my memory because, it doesn't always work great. And it turns out, so Gerald Ford was our first and only president and vice president to have never been elected into either office. And for us to kind of understand how this came to be, when Nixon was president, and this actually all happened under the Nixon's administration. Okay, I thought it was started before him, but it didn't. So Nixon originally had the VP of Spiro Agnew. He got into some trouble. He got in under some heat, and he was told he had to resign. So Nixon calls up Gerald Ford, who absolutely wanted nothing to do with politics, really,
So
and said, "Hey, buddy."
he was never in politics, correct,
He was
Gerald
never
Ford?
in politics. Yep.
Okay.
And he goes, "Hey, buddy, I need a VP. Will you fill in?" And the guy's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." Gerald Ford becomes our vice president. Well, not long after, Nixon's dirty laundry got pulled out of the closet, and he had to resign, leaving Gerald Ford to become president. So, yeah, a little bit of history, especially for people who didn't live through it. Um, yeah, Gerald Ford was our first and only president and vice president to have never been elected.
That's crazy.
There's some trivia for you
Yeah.
guys.
Who knew? Who knew?
I don't know,
I didn't know.
but
Yeah.
it's funny how that works, though. Is that
Right.
actually the line of secession can be broken that way? It's really bizarre, but it can.
Right. And because
Um,
that started the
oh, wait,
discussion.
Art says Ford was in the House of Representatives? I didn't see that in his bio. I must have missed that part. I could have swore he had not been in the House of Representatives. Oh, but thank you for the correction. Even as a House of Representative, he probably had no chance of seeing the presidency anytime in the near future. So I did not know that. I thought he was Joe Biden was never elected.
That's a good one. Good four
But that
corners.
is good to know about Ford. Thank you for correcting me, Art. I was under the impression he had not been in Congress, or he had gone to school for to become a lawyer but never served. It was what I had thought, what I had read. So I had probably gotten some bad info. But thank you for the correction. And yeah, Joe Biden, that's up for grabs too. That one can't be proven yet.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe later on history will there'll be
I
a
will say he
correction.
was elected VP though. But as a vice president, there was the election for both of Obama's terms. So he
Right.
did get that. But, as president, that's up for grabs big
Yeah.
time.
Well, hopefully within, some period of time we'll find out who the real president was behind the auto pen, and they claim that they have the names of who was signing with the auto pen, and they figure that those people are going to squeal, and then the big names are going to be released. So we'll see
It'll
what
be
happens.
interesting.
It's going to be a very interesting time, I think. All right, what's up first?
So up first is actually something JJ put out
Oh,
late yesterday.
mm-hmm.
Actually, it was not really that late yesterday. It was about 24 hours ago. So let me pull that up over here.
So we do try to pay attention to what goes on in the Discord, and
Actually, and on X and other platforms.
correct. And so we try to reply to whatever comments that you make. So, with that being said, uh, we pulled a piece that JJ did, and we'll go from there.
One second. Art added a little bit more info. I just wanted to type the response because we're just onto this. But so yeah. Um you were talking about promises made, promises kept. JJ forwarded I meme, therefore I am. And oh, let's go back. Follow JJ at JJ at RSVL on Twitter, X, wherever. Really good person, as you guys know from the chat. Awesome. Um,
He's okay.
so the no tax on tips is officially law across the United States. The Senate passed it
You're kidding.
unanimously.
Really? Including the
Unanimously.
Democrats?
If I am not mistaken, this is officially law. Oh, there it is. Yep.
Let's click
There's the
on that.
congressional
Yeah,
official site.
can you click on that and just let's peruse it?
Oh, it's still got to go to the House. Oh, I thought it already went through the House. My bad. The Senate got it first this time. Usually the House gets it first. Okay, thanks, D. LOL.
You're welcome, JJ.
I'm sorry. I thought the House had it first. So wait, we still got to wait for the House to pass it. Damn it. Not quite officially into law yet. And it was Senator Ted Cruz who pushed it on the Senate side of Congress. And yeah.
Alrighty.
So
Well, we'll keep you guys posted on where that goes.
I thought it was officially fully posted, but oh, I'm not sharing the right screen. I apologize. Oh my god, I forgot to hit share screen. Yeah, right here it says passed to introduced, passed in the Senate. Now it's got to go to the House and then to the president.
Okay.
It's well
So,
on its way though, but this is like one of the fastest moving ones
yeah,
I've seen in a while.
exactly. And this is what should happen with everything. They should
I
go with
agree.
one. They should go as one bill, and I told you they need to be presented, and people's asses need to be in the seats to listen and to
Uh-huh.
their vote, not to be out gallivanting around. All right, what do we got next?
Let me check at the show note. I got to keep in order. Okay, then we go to this one.
And
This is
by the
one
way,
you
yeah, and by the
provided.
way, normally today would be the continuation of corrupt politicians, but because there's been so much breaking news going on, and because we couldn't keep our act together yesterday, we are behind. And don't forget tomorrow, yeah, don't forget tomorrow I won't be here, so Crazy B will be doing a special report. Um, so we'll see what happens there. Okay,
Art says the House and the Senate may pass competing big, beautiful bills. Then they will reconcile the bills and decide what goes to the president in a final bill. Ah, I'm learning a little bit more.
well, they keep talking about the big beautiful bill, the BBB.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, I
One of the
can't quit
yeah,
coughing.
one of the things that we use is ground news. We're not advertising them. You might see other platforms that do so, but we have purchased ground news to verify a lot of information. It gives you a new take a article. It will tell you if the article leans left, center, or right, plus other statistics. It's a really nice piece to have. We don't use it for everything. We have found that uh, I would say what the more major stories are found on ground news. Smaller
Yeah.
stories, not so much, but
Yep.
the bigger stories are, and sometimes there's hundreds of documents attached to one area, one item.
Yep. One
But
topic.
yeah, this we had touched upon this last week. This will be in the show notes, and that is that the as you know, Trump signed the executive order directing RFK to get the best pricing on drugs. And that, when that first came out, there was a huge discussion on how can that be done. Uh, but it is relevant to Medicare and some Medicaid drugs only.
Mhm.
So the goal of this is to lower the U.S. drug prices because they exceed those of other countries. We are
Every
paying,
other nation.
yes, everyone. We're paying for the research and development, and we're paying some of, well, the majority of the highest costs of drugs.
Yep.
And for Medicare and the Medicaid. I told you guys, I pay almost $7,000 out of pocket as my co-pays for my medication every year. I fall into the donut hole usually around the end of March or early April, and then I have to wait until the plan picks up again. And the costs of some of my medications, I actually have my pharmacy flag any drug that costs $50 or over. They have to call me for approval to get it filled. And if, depending on what it is, I might call my doctor and say, look, I'm not going to take this medication because I'm not spending $80 a month on it. It's ridiculous. So hopefully we'll see medication costs come down.
Well,
Uh,
there is another stipulation right here, that this is only going to apply to single source innovator brand medications.
Correct. It won't affect generic drug pricing.
Okay.
So this article will be, there's not that much to it, but I didn't want to waste a lot of time. We had covered some of it, but he had directed RFK to uh, start working on it. I'm not sure how long it's going to take them to get this done, but we will keep you posted. We wanted to flag it because it did finally get over to HHS, and we'll keep you guys informed.
Hmm. Um, Next one is another one you also sent. This one really got your goat this morning.
Oh, this one.
Do you want me to enlarge it or is it good?
Yeah, it's good. I'm going to try not to swear. You want to,
You
oh
go
man.
right ahead.
Okay, hold on.
But feel free. I won't fault you if you do.
Mm,
I do it all the
I
time.
really am going to try. You know what? Because I could just go off on this.
Go
I
for it.
want somebody to explain to me how AOC, Jasmine Crockett, all of them, all of the left, are fighting for Garcia, who's an illegal alien, and we have a Air Force veteran who was released on Tuesday only through the actions of Grinnell. To get him released from Venezuela, he had been there since November. He traveled to South America to receive care for post traumatic stress disorder, according to his family. His release followed the freeing of 6 other Americans held since Venezuelan's presidential elections months earlier in a February meeting between envoy Richard Grenell and President Nicolas Maduro in uh, Caracas. St. Clair, a language expert or specialist who served 4 Afghanistan tours, was handed over to Grinnell while his parents expressed they were overwhelmed with joy and gratitude. The U.S. government considers St. Clair wrongfully I can't even talk. I'm so mad.
Detained.
Detained, and the event may reflect ongoing diplomatic negotiations between the two countries. I didn't even know this was there. I didn't even
I
know
had
this
no clue.
happened. I had no clue till I read this morning, and I am fucking furious. You tell me why them why they are in Congress fighting for an illegal alien when we have Americans who are being held and nothing was said, not one word. Did anybody hear, anybody in the chat hear anything about this? Anybody? Because I didn't. I didn't hear not one person in Congress, one person in the or the House, one person in the Senate say one thing about these. What's that? A total of seven or six? Six or
It
seven?
was 7. He was, or
Okay,
no,
he
he
was
was
the
one of
seventh.
6. No, hold on. It says he was,
Followed the ring of six others, so he was seven. So
yeah,
seven
7.
Americans, seven were held. Okay,
Who are the other 6?
I don't know. That's a good
Hmm,
question. What the hell is going on? What is wrong with these people?
a
Every
lot.
one of them that are sitting there. This is unacceptable.
I absolutely agree.
I forgot about. I'm so mad again. I can't even function. I was so pissed off. I was shaking when I read this. How could this be? Somebody explain this to me. How could this possibly be occurring when our own government, when we have people, we have AOC fighting, oh, the illegals, we got to take care of them. They have to have due process. Oh my God, we got to do this, we got to do that. Fuck that shit.
Hold on. I got to explain. Art, he wasn't removed by Trump. He was already in Venezuela, and Venezuela detained him. And I guess they said he had a crime, and we had to go down and prove he did not commit the crime. This is due process. But she's more mad that our politicians are more upset about illegal immigrants than our own citizens.
Correct.
It's not even a due process thing. This is a why aren't they caring about our citizens thing.
Right. That is the issue that I have. Why do they not care about the American citizen when that is where they make the pledge? Do they not swear on the Bible? Do they not? They are more worried
I
about
know.
other people. Illegal aliens is how they are identified by definition in our government. Hey, Blue
Hi, Blue
Rose.
Rose.
They are identified as illegal aliens by our federal government. That is the correct definition. They are not, any other
But the
name.
15th and the 14th Amendment do give them a degree of right to the
At this
the fair
point,
process.
at
The
this
do
point, after reading all of this, I really give a good shit. You know
Well,
that?
it's not the illegals' fault, it's the politicians'
I
fault.
know it is. But no, that's a lie. The illegals know that when they're coming, that what they're doing is breaking the law. Let's be serious. They paid a coyote some type of money to come here. They know what they are doing is wrong. They know that the benefits that they're taking from the taxpayers is wrong. It's all, they know it's wrong. They're wrong, and our government is wrong. And I'm sick of it. And then you read about this shit where you don't even know that it's going on.
Our My point is Venezuela does not have to process. We do. And there's a reason for that.
And I'm saying, and Art, I understand that. I do.
She's just more mad
I,
that the
I
politicians are more worried about the illegals than
why
they are our own
why has he
citizens.
been there since November? Why wasn't Biden? Why did it take, it is freaking May? How long were the six other people there? And who are they? Why? And we never heard anything about it. And you haven't heard a damn thing from any of our politicians. None of them. But oh, Garcia has to have due process. They ripped, Rubio up, Christy Nome up, all of them. Go watch the tapes of what they did to them. It's unbelievable what the Senate did and what the House of Representatives did.
Hi,
It
Brent.
Hey Brent, it's just disgusting. They make me sick. They all just need to go. Every single one of them need to go. It is so frustrating. I mean, this makes me want to cry. From November, this guy was in custody and nothing and nobody said a damn word about it. But yet they're going to worry about somebody that's a gang member that beats the shit out of his wife or whoever the hell she is. Oh
And
my God,
trafficked
we got to
people through
save them.
Tennessee.
I don't know. I, I'm done. I'm done, Crazy B. I'm done.
He says there was one group that was released in maybe February who had been there for a couple of years. Don't know if this
Wow.
is the same group. No, this guy was just released a few days ago. This was published 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So this goes to show that our politicians don't really give a shit about American citizens who are, being wrongfully accused in a country that has absolutely lesser laws and rights than we have. But, they're going to sit there and cry because Trump jumped the gun on some things. And again, I like the due process. I absolutely do. You guys know I'm more of a constitutionalist than anything.
Oh, give me
But
a black pen and I'll frickin' strike it out.
no, I'm just saying from me, this is still wrong that the politicians are more worried about the illegals' rights than they are our own citizens.
Right. And that's why I'm angry. Because if
6
they
were
put
released
forth,
back in January as well.
yeah, if they put forth as much effort into the illegals as they do to American citizens, I wouldn't have a problem. I've told you before, you know, we do a piss poor job in every single area. You just name one, and and I have a rebuttal for it. There's every single
I know.
office that's there is a freaking mess. Education, transportation, housing, the FAA, all of it is a freaking mess.
Uh-huh.
Every single one.
But they wanna help everybody else in the world first.
That's correct. And we have senior citizens, we have veterans, we have the homeless. Look at California that's turned into the homeless state of the world almost. It's going to hell in a handbasket. It is really going down.
Uh-huh.
Until we can take care, you cannot help other people until you take care of yourself.
But again, Biden not being in the good state of mind, his administration did this on purpose to flood our system.
I heard today, and I don't know how true it is, that a group of millennials in his office were fighting, and they're the ones that did all of this. So
Oh, I'm
it'll be
pretty sure they were the millennials that did this stupid shit.
it'll be funny to see if that's really true or not. But it is just extremely frustrating to know that this went on, and i- to know that they're fighting so hard, and they're still fighting for that Garcia, and all of this was going on the whole time.
Yeah.
Hey hun.
And again, Brent says his family learned that he was detained from those other 6 hostages that were released in January.
Oh
So his
wow.
family didn't even know he had been detained? Oh, that's right, because Venezuela doesn't allow phone calls and stuff
Well, I wonder
from their
why though,
prisons.
if he was down there for PTSD. I mean, I
He
guess
might have
maybe.
been picked up being mistaken for an illegal. He might have overstayed a visa. He might have done something wrong down there.
Yeah.
There we
Yep.
don't know the whole story. He might have
Yeah.
actually committed a
Well,
crime.
okay, that's fine. Even if he committed a crime or whatever, I don't have a problem with that. Again, the issue is we are not hearing about the Americans being detained wherever, but yet we're going to fight for illegals. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's my
Um,
point.
or wants to add in, um, I'm not here to defend the waste and stupidity, but the way to fix it that isn't to let the next guy ignore the rules for the sake of fixing the problem.
I didn't say to ignore the rules. I didn't say that.
Let me see
They
what we had
both
up
can be addressed at
next.
the same time. All right, let's stop before I really get
Oh no,
mad.
I was just making sure I
Oh,
know what we're covering next because it was starting to taper out a little.
all
I know
right.
you're still irritated, but if you want to keep venting, go right ahead. I just want to
So,
make sure I got the right thing.
man, I've been on a little roller coaster here for the last hour since we started, huh? I was in a good mood, and then the studio pissed me off, and I got really upset. Anyway, go ahead. What's next?
Um, Marco Rubio, laying down some
Oh, this was pretty.
really nice
Uh
attitude.
huh. Go ahead.
I like the way he handled this guy. Um, for quite a few reasons. And I had fun with editing this. I did. My editing's not perfect, but I'm playing with learning how to edit videos. So sorry, y'all get to suck it up and just tolerate my attempts at making editing more entertaining.
Marco Rubio just exposed everything in one sentence.
And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State. I yield back.
May I respond?
You may say.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job. First of all, I'm actually very proud of the work we've done with USAID. For example, I don't regret cutting $10 million for male circumcisions in Mozambique. I don't know how that makes us stronger and more prosperous as a nation. I don't regret psychosocial support services.
I
spent $227,000 for Big Cat's YouTube channel from USAID. We spent $14 million for social cohesion in Mali, whatever the hell that means. So I can go on and on. I got the list here, and there's more. I didn't even bring the whole list. In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come,
Mr.
you're going to
Chairman,
see who you went to
look,
defend.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
I don't like that they cut out the responses, but I know they had to make it quick.
Right.
But yeah,
Because that was a
yeah, they
short,
cut out
but
the wasteful spending, and they are removing some horrible people.
right. And well, this is in response to Garcia. That is I don't know if whoever that guy is. I can't think of his name.
Mm,
That
that
he's the
was that
one.
jackass.
Yes,
Yeah.
that went down to El Salvador and they got Garcia out of the prison and he went and had the margarita with him, whatever his name is. Yeah, that's him. So
Oh,
yeah, so
that makes sense.
he got Christine Ohm and he got Rubio. So if you're interested, go to Forbes Breaking News has some decent up to 10 minutes, 11-minute clips of the various pieces of the hearing. The hearings are over 2.5 hours long, so that's a little bit ridiculous. But you can find it on Forbes Breaking News. That's a good station to grab some info off
JJ's
of.
brain is working better than ours. Van Hoolen, I think.
Mm,
Is
Hol-
that the guy?
mm,
Holland? Holan?
uh, uh,
Holan? I mean, there's three ways
it
to
could
pronounce
be.
that.
It could be. I don't remember. I don't recall. Okay, what's Art say?
Uh,
There's plenty of waste, but you have to be on the inside to find it. Musk's approach was to just cut anything he thought might be wasteful without any understanding of how and what needed to be cut. I disagree.
well, like he said, circumcisions in Mozambique doesn't really, help us.
Right?
I mean, Some of this
I
stuff
think
really was
I
good.
think I think that maybe they did some things that they recognized and they went back and fixed it. But you have to, I mean, any company I've ever worked for example, they came in, we got audited. And if something was messed up, it had to be fixed. I mean, it just had to be taken care of right then and there. The board of directors was in there when the presentation was made by the auditors, and it could be governmental, it could be the oh, what the heck are they called? The accountants that came in, the third party accountants that came in to review the books. It could be any type of auditing company that came in. And whatever issue there was, you know, cuts would be made, or changes would be made, or departments would be merged together. Was it always right? No. Did they always did sometimes mistakes happen? Yes. But you have to
Most of the time, those
realize,
ones don't get fixed like they
right,
should.
but our government, nobody, who you tell me who has looked, and or you're saying to go look on the inside. Who on the inside in the last 40 or 50 years has done anything to eliminate waste? I, I don't know of them. So you need somebody from the outside. I mean, they look at the military. They haven't passed a budget, a clean budget, or have their auditing done for what, the last 6 years. They haven't passed an audit.
Oh, more than that. But yeah.
How is that acceptable? That they're the largest, where our tax dollars go to is to the military. And we don't know where the money is being spent. Oh, yes, we do. On toilet seats that cost, $500, and a screw that's $250. The American taxpayer's getting screwed, literally, with, just this little bit that Rubio said. We have not even gotten into what Doge has done, which we will be presenting what they've,
We're
uh,
still collecting it as we
correct, we're
find it.
collecting data. So, and again, I'm not saying that Musk is completely right. But I voted for the wrecking ball, and the wrecking ball, I'm happy with it. My problem that I have is all we have seen is the surface kinds of things, the pretty picture things. They need to get down in the trenches and down in the weeds where the real work is being done, and get into some of these departments that that are really doing things that have been there for years and years, and things need to be taken a look at. That's all I'm suggesting. And I mean, and for them to go in, it could be just simple things like, why doesn't this department talk to that department? Why don't the two computer systems talk to one another to make things efficient? Things are antiquated, things need to be replaced. So somewhere, somehow, auditing needs to occur. OMB isn't doing it. The Office of Personnel Management isn't doing it. I don't know what to say. Who's supposed to do it? Musk is the first person that's gotten his hands in on data. I mean, who was supposed to find out that people were getting Social Security checks at 115 years old? Or at the infant age. Infants were collecting Social Security checks. Who was getting that money, and who was cashing those checks?
Actually, I can understand why some infants are. I was one of those kids that was in severe respiratory problems since birth.
That you're
I've been
separate,
on
crazy
my
B.
parents.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's a
just
separate.
saying it does happen.
Yes, that's
Did
a
they
separate
find
issue.
out the full story?
To my knowledge, they did, and that it was there's it
It
was
was
separate.
fraud.
Correct. It was fraud. Correct. Thank you.
Okay, because I want to point out that I was almost born without lungs,
Mhm.
underdeveloped lungs. Spent the first month of my life in the hospital. Second month, going home in the morning, going home overnight, coming back in the morning, and then for a checkup, and then going back home again.
Mhm.
There was medical equipment in the house from the time I was knee high. I've talked about the nebulizing machines. We used to have hospital bags, oxygen tanks, croup tents. I mean, I used to sleep in a frickin' hospital bed with a croup tent and oxygen running through it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, there are cases where they from birth you can be on
Yeah,
disability.
they
I
reviewed the
just
exceptions. Yeah, they reviewed those. So now Art says it's the audit that was missing from Musk's approach. You can't arbitrarily just cut things, which is why he's gone. I personally think he was brought in to be the wrecking ball and start the approach and make some significant cuts in places and to identify to the American people where fraud was occurring. And then he
um
had always said he was going back to his company.
yeah.
Again, I'm not saying everything he did was right. I There were some things I didn't like, just like I told you there's stuff that I don't like that Trump does. But I think he served a particular purpose, and his purpose and his mission was fulfilled, and that's why he's gone. But his the some of the people are still there running Doge.
Mhm.
So um,
And Doge is releasing stuff. It's just not making the news the way it has been, and
correct.
we've got quite a bit of it. I've been locking it aside in a folder and been working on editing and pulling up articles to back it up and confirm it. There is stuff being released.
Right.
It's just not being
Being
public.
reported. Correct.
Yes, because
So
well, I guess the news doesn't need it right now. They don't have a reason to complain any further other than
no,
what Doge
because
did
Musk,
in the
yeah,
past.
because Musk
And
is
again,
gone. Yeah.
my whole point is still really I think Doge was being used as a spotlight to show people how bad it really was, and now they're going in and they're fine tuning it. It
Correct.
was just to get that spotlight on it.
Right.
I don't think they were the precision team they made it out to be, but they definitely drew a lot of people's attention to the bullshit that was going on that
Right.
should never have gotten that bad.
I guess you said it better than I did. It was a spotlight. It They came out of the darkness into the light, and
Kicking and
I
screaming, by the way.
I
Did you
told
see
you that.
Maxine Waters?
Yes, and I told you this morning that they're still in the weeds. So there's things that need to come out. Um, in fact, I think Friday I have a piece coming out of that we're going to look at that I didn't even know this department existed. And one of the
Mhm.
courts said all the employees had to be hired back. And I'm like, what? Why does this department even exist? This doesn't make any sense. And one of the presidents uh, created it, and Congress approved it. And Trump was trying to get rid of it because they consider it to be a waste. And a court came in and said, no, you can't do that. You got to hire everybody back. And it's ridiculous
Yeah,
because
because it was
they're,
Congress
yeah,
who allowed it to be in
yeah,
place, and now it's
correct,
gotta be Congress to remove it.
correct. And so the issue with it, though, is when you find out what they do and who they are, it's like, what? Wait a minute. We have so many other areas that fulfill this mission. Why do we need these people? It just doesn't make sense anyway.
Well, and again, this is stuff, but again, this is one of the problems with our system, but it's
Right.
also a very good thing with our system because government funded thing that actually helps is Medicaid. It was put in by Congress.
Mm-hmm.
No president can remove it without Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, sometimes going through Congress is a double edged sword, but it's one of those, this is one of those times that it's more of the bad end getting to the people than the good end.
Right.
And it's why Obamacare was able to be messed with. He says if you're talking about the International Peace Group, it's not a government agency and couldn't be shut down by the executive branch. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
It's because it was implemented by Congress, which
Right.
is a legislative branch.
Right.
Yeah. So again, like I was saying, I think there's a little bit behind, a bit of a lag. But yeah, there's this is again, it's a double-edged sword to have the checks and balances, but it also prevents us from ending up with Stalins and Mussolini's and what's his face out of the Middle East, Saddam Hussein's.
Right.
We don't have Winnie the Pooh. We don't have what's his face, Rocket Guy or whatever he calls him out of North Korea.
Right.
That's why we have the checks and balances. And yes, it is a nightmare when something bad gets pushed through and it shouldn't. And now we have to get everyone to agree to undo it. And
Right.
my character looks like I've got my head back and I'm like, oh my God, look up my nose. No, I'm not leaning that far back. It's just my camera angle. I apologize. I just recognized that my avatar was all over the fucking place. So, but yeah, I mean, our system is better than what others are. It needs to be perfected, and we need to get rid of the corrupt politicians pushing this bullshit through.
Right. And how is it that once, something's created that it's not then looked at, I mean, some of this stuff has been in place for decades and
Well,
has,
there was one in place since the Kennedy administration. That's
yeah,
USAID.
right. So
Yeah.
it's everything that, I don't know if he's going about it the right way or not, but something at least is getting done. I don't, you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, though, and this is just a perspective, not necessarily what I believe.
Right.
Something getting done doesn't always benefit just because it appears to be getting done.
I don't disagree with that statement. However, it is bringing things to light. As you said, it's putting a spotlight on things that we did not know, right? We didn't know about a lot of this stuff. Who knew?
Oh, I did not know this. Doge also sees their office, which was privately owned.
Right.
They can't do
Yeah,
that if
that's,
it's not a government owned
yeah,
property. Whoa. Why didn't they? Again,
yeah.
something they should have known before stepping in.
Well, the thing is you got to know the story. It's in the article we have, and we'll discuss it on Friday. So let's let it go with that, okay?
Okay,
Because
I want to get the full story as
there's a
much as
little story
possible,
to
not
it,
one
and I'm
sided.
sure there's something to it. The police were involved, and yeah, it was a little something something. So they're gonna you're gonna hear that. Never mind. Just we'll do it Friday. What's up next? We got a lot to cover.
Um, we have a couple of options. Some older stuff from a couple weeks back,
Play a
or we can.
video because I'm getting a drink. Play a video.
Okay,
I'm in.
I hear you. Where is it? Let's listen to this person trying to say that the trans people in the military being removed is going to be wasted money, but here's the thing, it wasn't just trans people who benefited from some of this money. So they sound very narcissistic. Or it says I don't read articles, I read court documents. Ooh, I
Oh,
would love to see
excuse
those.
us.
Feel
Sorry.
Hey, drop those in the Discord
Yeah. And
if you could get a link to them.
and I actually do have some court documents too. Maybe not on this one, but I do
Some of
read
the
court
others.
documents. Ow! Jesus, what are you doing? Sorry. We got rain. We got the cat screaming. Woo!
All right, let's get through this quick clip while you're getting done in the kitchen, and then we
Yep,
can
I'm
go
back
back
in the
and
room.
finish that thought.
I don't know if you can hear the rain or not.
I
You hear
can.
the rain?
Yes.
Yep. That's because there's a skylight above my bed, so
Ah.
pouring down. It's crazy. Thunder and lightning.
All right. I'm going to hit play. Let's listen to this narcissist seem to think they're the only thing keeping the military afloat.
So you have been in for 20 years, and
We transition that over. Funny. Let's go back.
so you have been in for 20 years, and a lot of the time they talk about, oh, it's just too expensive to take care of our trans troops. It's just the medical care is so expensive. How much do you think the military has invested in your 20-year career?
Well, in me in particular, they've given me multiple degrees, tons of classes, and the ability to design and develop our nation's most advanced technology.
So they're just throwing that away.
And there are decades invested in me and millions of dollars in me and thousands of...
Me, 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 me.
She
That's
is
all I
full
keep
of shit.
hearing.
They did not invest millions in him. I mean her, whatever.
Actually, I would think so.
No
Depending on how
way.
many
Nope.
degrees, all the training,
Don't believe it.
and medical care, I could put it at probably 2 or 3 million
Did I
for a
lose you,
20-year
crazy
career
bee?
in the military.
Yep. Do 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 do. We'll be back.
Thousands of other transgender service members. I mean, when you add it up, we're talking probably $1 billion invested into us or more that would be out the door. And we don't develop commanders and colonels in a day.
Right.
It takes time to build those leaders who are capable of training the next generation and making sure we have this unbroken line of service members ready to fight tonight and defend the...
Oh, are you back?
I'm back.
Oh, we could hear you. Evidently, you couldn't hear me.
Nope.
Um,
Hey,
Hold on. It
beautiful.
says you do not have a right to serve in the
Knock on
military.
wood.
The president can and does change the enlistment policies and current service requirements. It's nothing new. Interesting. That's interesting.
I'll call you when I'm done.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay. Let me kiss goodbye.
defend this nation's
Colonel,
interests.
Colonel,
Huh?
Oh, it was the last 2 seconds. So,
Give me hello. I love you.
but yeah, when you take in all the times they send these people to school while they're not in the field, out in the actual fighting zones and stuff, all the training that's paid for, all the medical that these people need in particular.
Well, if you add that,
Um,
if you include that, maybe.
well, I mean, depends on which school they go to. They can go to any school they choose, and it's paid for. If I'm not mistaken, they can pick and choose which school they go to. It's paid for. I might be wrong. We can ask what some of the military members or people who have served chime in on that one. But yeah, I knew a guy who was in the Marines and he chose to go to be a medical assistant when he got out of service. And he chose to go to a community college, but he could have gone elsewhere. He could have gone to do anything. He just chose medical assisting, so that was awesome.
Yeah, but that
Um,
doesn't cost millions of dollars to do.
um, no, his case doesn't, but someone who wants to go be a doctor on top of all the other lower degrees they got on the way to it. You can run. I mean, there's people who are smart enough to go for 2 degrees at the same time. They're taking double classes for 2 different degrees. It's not impossible if you
I
think about
didn't
it.
say
Now,
that was. I didn't say that was. I'm
I'm
just
just saying it's not
not
every single
millions.
individual soldier has that ability, but
Yeah.
we don't know this person's education. And in the 20 years they've been there, I could see it being anywhere from 2 to 3 million total.
Mm.
Because if he's
Oh,
living on base, they're providing housing.
see,
Yeah, okay,
see.
whatever.
Yeah, that didn't
Anyways,
go too well, did it?
I don't give two shits at this point. People can bite me. I don't know this person personally. I'm
I
being
know.
as
Let's
respectful
read
as I
some of
can,
these
and I'm
whole
even giving the benefit of the doubt that they're not wrong about the monies put into them. Because again, if they send them for specialized training, the government pays for quite a bit of. Well, they pay for some of it. They don't pay for your moving cost, but they will ship you from one side to the other and stuff.
Then you
And you know,
explain to don't get me started
yeah,
on that. You explain why we know people that barely make ends meet in the military that are living in,
I
bases where
know.
shit is falling down around them and rats and bugs and yeah,
They're almost better
yeah,
off not living on base.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Don't
I
get me
do know, and
yeah, Leah, yeah, and can't and they don't make enough money to support themselves. I don't want to hear don't
or maintain the bases that
Yep.
they live on,
Correct. Yep.
and
So
yeah,
nope, another argument. Nope, nada.
yeah,
Nope.
so, I mean, I I
Yep.
mean, again, this isn't money that the government gave to them directly to use. This is some stuff the government paid for them to get trained
I
on
mean, come on.
education and
I'm
stuff.
sorry. I have to know the background before I can make a decision. That's all I'm saying. I want
And
to
also, what is the government claiming the cost is for
correct,
these training and courses
correct,
compared to what they really cost?
correct. Yeah.
So again, taking in military exaggerations. Hold on. If you are accepted to a military program, then the military will send you to any college and university training in civilian schools. So it's any. You could pick the highest priced training, the highest priced school out there, and they'll pay for it.
Right.
So they might have picked an Ivy League school as long as they were smart enough to get in. The government's paying
Right.
for it.
But you're not going there for 20 years.
Well, there are perpetual students.
This is true. I want to see this
I'm related to
person's,
one.
resume or CV or whatever. What else? What other
Yeah.
comments have we got?
Art said there's a policy on tattoos, beards, and more serious policy on medical and psychological conditions. Yeah, I do know about that. That's why 90% of vets, when they get out, they grow a beard. I swear they're so sick of having to shave and keep their head trimmed down to basically nothing. Yeah, my dad did the same thing. He grew out a beard right away. He was like, "Nope, I want my beard. I want my facial hair. I hate being told what to do." But yeah, it is interesting. Um, After all the training is complete, you will also owe the military some number of years of service in return for your training.
Correct.
And that's how they get the 20, 30 years in there, especially if they send you to the officers training. That's another whole system in itself. Um, and then again, our government funds a lot of programs. I if I want to say ROTC is government funded because that's their recruiting grounds right out of high school at many schools.
Uh-oh, I lost you again. I'll be right back.
Okay. So yeah, our military does dump a pretty penny into these long-term service members. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and deny these numbers when you sit there and think about it. But with trans people, they have to put even more into the medical, and they're paying medically for all of this stuff, and I don't think that's right. And I can understand ROTC in colleges and universities as well. Thank you, JJ. Yeah, my high school didn't offer it, but one of the colleges did. Hi D, you're back.
I'm back.
Oh, yeah, they pay for the ROTCs not only in high schools, but the ROTs in college and university as well.
They also do it in high schools as well.
Yeah, that's what we were just I was
Yeah,
talking about when you lost, I
yeah.
guess,
In
audio.
fact, I told you the story. I was furious, We
They
were, it
came for
was,
your kid.
yeah, uh huh. Yeah, we had a little war going on, and we had moved from the city out to the country, and so we're in this huge school district. And he comes home from his first day of school, and they put him in ROTC, and I knew
Hmm.
nothing about it. I was furious. I was like over my dead body.
And
So
I wanted ROTC at my school, but the school didn't. They weren't there, so it's like, really?
I
I
was like,
wanted to be ROTC.
I was like, they're not taking him to be no. I mean, I know about the commitment and everything, but I wasn't having him go fight and be killed on no front line.
Well, he
After
could have taken an officer's path.
I know he
Still had to
could,
gone through basic training and
yeah,
stuff, but yeah.
but I was the way they pulled that off. That was like, nope, not going to happen. And then he wanted to really fly planes. He wanted to be in the Air Force, but his eyes were too bad, so he couldn't. I mean, they weren't that bad, but they weren't perfect. He needed to wear glasses, so they said no to that. So he was
My asthma got me a big hard no, and then I found out that, other health problems being flat-footed, back problems were also gonna be a no, and that ruined my idea of joining the Army right out of high school.
well, you could go now
Arts
because they take anybody. I think.
yeah, I can't even walk from here to the kitchen and get myself a bowl of cereal.
I'm sure they got a place for you.
Art says terms of service are strictly within the discretion of the president, but that's not going to stop the lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
90 days ago, I couldn't spell lieutenant. Now I are one. Yes. Oh my God. I almost read that properly because it's so ingrained in me. Now I am one, and I had to stop and look at the R1. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. I love it. Thank you. Oh my God. That was great. I
That's
needed that
fun.
laugh.
Yeah, just
I
make
do
her
have
choke.
I do have another military video that you sent and we never got to covering like 3 weeks ago when we were
I
supposed
don't even
to.
remember what it's about.
The Gucci scam.
Oh, that one. This was fast. This was a little story. Go ahead.
Oh, I gotta carry it over. Listen to this nonsense also out of the military.
About the Gucci goddess. She was a financial manager.
There's more
That
to it. That's just the short we were able to get.
yes. That Blue Rose, I'm sorry about that. As I told you, I thought that was gonna happen. Art said welcome,
Oh,
yeah,
I'll be praying for her.
yeah. Art said welcome to the Marines. I
Yup.
I cannot, this story just blew my mind. There she is working as a specialist, and my girl's
Uh-huh.
stealing all kind of money.
Yeah.
She's nicknamed the Gucci Goddess. Yeah. Bye,
Oh
baby.
yeah.
I love you.
This one is this one's when CNN supposedly got schooled according to the title of the short. Um, I don't remember what this one was about because it was from 2 weeks ago.
We're like
Sorry.
I
Oh,
said,
you were
we're
still talking. I didn't mean to interrupt
no,
you.
no.
Didn't
I'm just
realize.
saying we're so far behind that we don't even remember what the hell we have. So we're gonna be just as surprised as the audience is.
Hey, let's listen to
Yeah.
this. It's another 58-second clip. And we'll talk about it when we remember what the hell it was.
No one expected the comeback. CNN host was left completely speechless.
Fix that. In a few days, we're about to see prices go up at the grocery store. What do you say to those Americans?
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't
the reason
think,
it's going to happen,
it won't happen?
watch. No one can. Wait. You asked me a question. Let's go through it, okay? Our farmers are blocked from selling almost anywhere. We can't, 1.4 billion people in India, and we can't sell them corn. Europe won't let us sell beef. Australia won't let us sell beef. This is nonsense. This is all.
Oh, you want to know why? Because of growth hormones, additives, manipulated genetics of the corn and the products we're selling. I mean, we're eating this stuff and we're unhealthy. Why would any other country
Exactly.
want to eat it? He's not schooling them. He should be pointing out we need to change how we're farming so they will buy from us. But, okay, we still got 30 seconds left.
This is all nonsense. What happens is they block our markets. When we open those markets, our volumes grow, our farmers will thrive, and the price of groceries will come down. Let Donald Trump run the global economy. He knows what he's doing. He's been talking about it for 35 years. You got to trust Donald Trump in the White House. That's why they put him there. Let him fix it.
I understand.
It's broken. Let him fix it. Our $36 trillion deficit, right, is going to ruin our children's lives and our grandchildren's lives. Let Donald Trump fix the American economy.
Just to follow up.
Yeah, and Donald Trump has stuck to the same plan since the 80s when he first went on Oprah Winfrey and she
Right.
asked him to run for president. He's basically said the same thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
But our products, GMOs, pesticide, but let's just pretend that's because of tariffs. Exactly what we are saying.
Right.
This is the insanity. Now, again, will Trump's tariffs plans work? They appear to be. They're balancing out. Things are moving forward. People are now working with us. Okay, great. But why do they want to buy our pesticide, GMO, growth hormone riddled products? I really want to know why they would want to buy this stuff. I mean, it's making us sick. Why would they want what's making us sick?
Well,
I say we fix all of this,
I
and
say
then
I
they'll
say we
open the
talk to Bill
trades.
Gates.
Oh, I say we just remove him from any say. His philanthropy is no longer wanted. He can take his philanthropy and shove it where the sun don't shine because I'm done with it.
I thought he gave that to Melinda.
He's still running shit. He's still pushing crap out
but
there.
I thought he gave that part to Melinda. I'm not sure.
Well, either way, it needs to stop.
Yeah. And then we could talk to Zuckerberg and we could talk to Bezos, and there's a lot of people that could be talked to.
Yep.
Hopefully RFK gets to the bottom of some of this stuff. And even that, think about RFK going in. He's going to be kind of like a wrecking ball once he starts doing what he has to do.
Yeah, I see him being like an Elon figure, going in to stir up things.
Yep.
Not actually accomplish anything, but leave the accomplishments for those who actually know what they're doing.
Exactly. But he's going to stir the pot.
Yeah. I still want to see a lot of things get fixed. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm pulling up the next one.
That's okay.
It can't be good if the bread you eat has a 10-year shelf life. Amen. But honestly, most of the bread I've got, it goes bad within 2 days of bringing it home.
Exactly. I don't know what's up with that.
We have to store our bread in the fridge. But then again, I do live in an area where, it's not good between the heat and cold from morning till night.
Right.
So, we can't leave it out on the counter type of thing. But, oh, my eye is itching. Sorry. Oh, I had to take off my glasses, so everything's a blur. Ugh.
Please hold while Crazy Bee makes adjustments. We will be back shortly.
It feels like there's an eyelash in my eye, and it's like...
Art says, I got the same problem with bread because of the high humidity.
Yep.
We don't have a lot of humidity here, but it's the same thing. Bread is, a couple days, it starts to turn moldy.
Yep.
Go watch some of the documentaries on how long chicken eggs are left.
Chicken eggs are
Uh,
actually viable for upwards of 3 to 4 weeks, even if you're left on the counter, as long as they've never been refrigerated
well,
in the
correct.
process.
But I'm talking about the ones that you buy in the grocery store. Go watch
Oh.
some documentaries. I could find it for you, and once you see it, it's hard to unsee. Yep.
Uh-huh.
How long they
I'd
sit.
rather grab an egg from under a chicken, drop it
That's
in
why
my
we have.
counter,
Yeah,
drop it in a bowl on the counter, and just wash it before I eat
right.
it.
That's why we have the chickens.
Um, Awesome D. Love the please hold. Oh, you should have seen it in the beginning. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, you missed the first couple minutes, and that was all we could say while I was still trying to catch up.
One moment, please. We will be with you shortly.
And then I said something about, oh yeah, we're gonna talk to Sterling about hiring Loki to handle our customer service
Yes.
complaints.
Yes, one moment, please. If you're not happy with the programming, please contact our customer service support center at 1-800 We Don't Give a Shit.
Loki will be with you shortly.
Yes.
Oh my God, my
And
eye
if
is
you haven't done
itchy.
so already, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, follow us on Rumble.
You don't have to like us. There is a thumbs down. Any kind of interaction works.
Yes. And
Um,
if you haven't done so already, please join the Discord where conversations continue almost in book format. Anyway,
um,
go ahead. Look at the date code on the egg carton, not the use by calendar date. Use within 3 weeks of the packing date code.
yep.
Mhm.
Oh my God, my eyes. My daughter tried complaining about using a can of green beans because it expired 2 years ago. I'm like, oh my God, really? It's canned. It's good for 20 plus years. No, it's not. That's disgusting. Oh my God. Child, let me tell you about canned food.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, that
yeah.
whole use by stuff is nothing but a ploy to get you to throw it away, throw food
And
away.
purchase more. Oh,
Exactly.
she was mad because I had spices that were like 6 years expired, but they still smelled and tasted good, so screw it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got that eyelash
What's the
out.
word? Are you done now? Do you think that you could put up a video or
I
perhaps?
have a video. It's just my eye is still a little nope, I got one
Okay.
eyelash out. There's another one in there.
One
Damn it.
moment,
Someone
please,
trade me.
crazy. One moment, please,
Here,
crazy
let me
bee.
play this video.
Yes.
Um, while I
Close,
work on my
close,
eye.
close one eye. Use one eye and hit play.
I don't agree with what Donald Trump did here, but this man just cooked this show.
Him tweeting out an AI created image and the White House official account of him posing as the Pope is disrespectful. It is frankly disgusting and it is outrageous. And so all of those devout Catholics, I think you need to ask yourself some questions, and I think you need to ask the White House and Donald Trump some questions, because Trump, Mr. President, it's his holiness, the Pope, not his oiliness, the dope.
And you're a sanctimonious joke. But look, the bigger picture is right here in my pocket, and I will pull it out. This is Rihanna dressed as a pope. Olympics 2024, mocking Jesus Christ's last meal. Over here, camera, over here. Don't run, because Trump only posted a meme. But these are actual photos, and I don't see that same energy of yours, Anna, when it comes to Hollywood actually mocking God. This is Madonna on a cross as Jesus Christ.
We'll be right back.
Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Very interesting, huh?
I gotta drop some eye drops in my eye. I am so sorry. You're gonna have to talk for a minute.
One moment, please. Crazy Bee is experiencing technical difficulties herself.
Physical, physical,
Mentical, what is that? You just created a new combo word we got going on. So
medical and mental
there you go.
issues going on. Oh
Yeah,
my
you're real
God, what the
mentical.
fuck is wrong with my eye? Just out of the blue, it's like
Don't
swelling
blame
and itching.
don't blame Blue.
Ugh.
Oh, it's over your head and under your feet again.
No, I heard it. I'm just
You can't respond.
my eye. If I open my eye, it feels like there's gravel.
You know
If
what?
I have my eye
While
closed, it feels like
okay,
there's
while we're
gravel.
waiting, not that we would act upon it, but I would ask the chat, is there any topic that you would like us to cover? That doesn't mean that we would do it, but we would take it
Just
under
pick out some ideas.
consideration. So if there's something that you would be interested in us investigating, oh, that's funny, or just perusing, please put it in the comments. Let's see if anybody has any ideas what they'd like to have us respond to. And I'm still waiting. We got JJ, Art.
It takes a few minutes.
Okay, where's
Plus
Four
there's a lag.
Corners? Did Four Corners leave us, or is he still listening? Oh God,
Can't.
that ain't happening, Art. Quantum
I
physics.
can't even see.
Wait, Art wants us to do quantum physics.
Good luck with that one.
We could try.
Oh yes, my daughter's handing me an allergy pill.
There, like what to put in your eye?
No, to swallow to help get it started.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God! If you could see me right now, my eye looks like I got punched. Oh my God!
What happened to
Quantum
Brent?
physics is fun, but I don't understand the math to understand it thoroughly. Oh my God! I am so sorry. This is how my asthma and allergies and stuff randomly work. And I found out that late last night, I'm actually allergic to the Vicks version of Dayquil. Go frickin' figure. I take it and my lips start swelling and I can't drink from a straw because it feels like my lips are about to split. Um this is just the joys of being me. My allergies literally will kick in for no frickin' reason.
That's crazy.
So I do apologize. I did not mean to hold up the podcast. It just
And
my eyes and my body hate me.
unfortunately, I have not received training yet. Not that it's Crazy Bee's fault. It has just been a unfortunate timing issue on my end. One of these days that's gonna happen. Yeah, right. Oh.
Um
Do you think
I
we
got the
can
next
continue with the
one.
show? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the next one.
Okay. Are
Um
you okay?
yeah, I'm going to be fine. It's
Are you
just my eyes are a tad bit itchy.
okay?
One of the other things that we needed to catch up on that we didn't cover in um yeah, update.
Go
Oh
ahead.
my God, if I zoom out the wrong frickin' window one more time, I zoom in. I'm sorry. So
This
that
was your
Epic
story. Go
City.
ahead.
Yeah, the Epic City we were talking about a month or so ago. Yeah,
Right.
it's on hold. There is no construction taking place. Texas has launched half a dozen investigations into the project, and the Department of Justice is also investigating. There was some major red flags, obviously, with that idea of we're going to run this city, and no state or other local anything has a say in what we do in this said city. And yeah, no, you're not going to do the Vatican thing in the middle of Rome. Okay. Like, does not happen that way. So,
Well, how was well, totally disagree with the city, obviously, but what do we do about it's okay to have the Chinese police departments in the country?
Well, well,
That's
they're not
okay?
running an entire city to themselves, and no, they should not be here. I don't
Right.
know how the hell they are and why it's not being cracked down on.
Right. I don't mean just the city. I mean just in general. Why does any foreign country have the right to? Well, one, I thought I heard, I mean, I know China has bought a lot of land in middle America as well as around bases, but I thought they were going to try to, I thought the Senate was going to try to put forth a bill trying to do something to get that land back. They were suggesting that why are we selling our land to any foreign country? That doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
Okay, here's Art. Go ahead. I'm not reading.
Oh,
It's
no, he was just telling me,
how to
how
fix
to
your eye.
straighten up my eyelashes so they're not so rubbing up against the eyeball, and
Gotcha.
I'm trying it.
Well, let's
And
see.
that's why I didn't want to really talk about it or address it, is because it didn't have to do with the topic.
Well, it does have to do with the topic. You've been having eye issues for the last 5 minutes, and as a wrecked
Probably 10.
sister, we need to get you kind of fixed in a little bit of better wrecked position.
Yeah, now that I can actually see the comments to read them. Oh my god.
You know what? If anybody in the chat gets sick, it's Crazy Bee's fault. Coughing, hacking,
It's
eyeball issues.
asthma and allergies. How are allergies contagious?
Because I think it's you have an infection.
I don't. I think it's
Uh,
everything's inflamed and it's my body hates me. And
you know
then what
what?
do?
If you
I go take something I'm allergic to stop the coughing from something else that aggravated my allergies, making the allergy problem worse. It's called exacerbating the condition.
just remember, Miss D changes to Dr. D. Don't forget that. So
Uh-huh.
seldom am I wrong.
Except I'm wheezing.
I know that. If
Wheezing
you
from
end up in if
inflammation.
you end up in the ER, the frying pan's coming out.
I'll be dead before I go to this ER. All they're gonna do is give me freaking prednisone and send me home.
Yeah.
I think I might even still have some tablets of prednisone laying around. Anyways, so um Epic's getting shut down. And now
What are they doing
this
with the property and all of
one,
that? Go ahead.
it's on hold until they decide what to do. It's on hold until they know more. Um and then I guess we'll know more as it comes out, more as more happens. This could be dragged out for 20 or 30 years in court.
See
That's
that?
the nice thing.
Well, that stuff should be, 20 years. That's ridiculous. This stuff needs to be taken care of within a reasonable time frame. It just doesn't. Well, we don't have enough judges, and
Mhm.
oh, I don't know.
And look at the lawyers that we've produced.
Uh-huh. That's true too.
Most of them are in Congress right now.
This is true. All right, what's up next?
I'm gonna have you read this because holy blazing goodness, my eyes.
Oh, this was the what day was
There we
this?
go.
Okay, what date was this?
Today or yesterday you sent
Okay, so
this.
yeah, big case today in the United States Supreme Court. Birthright citizenship was not meant for people taking vacations to become permanent citizens of the United States of America and bringing their families with them, all the time laughing at the suckers that we are. The United States of America, the only country in the world that does this, for what reason, nobody knows. Would you scroll up? But the drug cartels love it. We are, for the sake of being politically correct, a stupid country. But in actuality, this is the exact opposite of being politically correct. And it is yet another point that leads to the dysfunction of America. Birthright citizenship is about the babies of slaves. As conclusive proof, the Civil War ended in 1865. The bill went to Congress less than a year later, in 1866, and was passed shortly after that. It had nothing to do with illegal immigration for people wanting to scam our country from all parts of the world. Oh, hold on, you lost me
Oh,
there.
right here.
Okay, I got it. Which they have done for many years. It had to do with the Civil War results and the baby of slaves who our politicians felt correctly needed protection. Please explain this to the Supreme Court of the United States. Again, remember, the Civil War ended in 1865 and the bill goes to Congress in 1866. We didn't have people pouring into our country from all over South America and the rest of the world. It wasn't even a subject. What we had were the babies of slaves. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Good luck with this very important case. God bless the USA.
That was May 15th. I apologize.
Okay.
I was wrong.
So, how do you feel
Oh,
about that, Crazy B?
I think it's very on point and accurate. I mean, it wasn't meant for people to use an anchor baby to flee a bad situation. It wasn't meant for that. It was, to protect people like especially those who were fleeing persecution while pregnant and they were waiting on their citizenship papers. I mean, that
Well,
kind of makes sense. Didn't have people coming from all over the world. I got news
yeah,
for him.
there was,
There
yeah,
was, but it wasn't
there's
for the reasons of expanding the drug trade.
that, and there's a whole story on the Chinese, right, coming over to vacation, supposedly, right
Mhm.
before she's due to deliver, and the baby's delivered is an American citizen. They have the right, to travel back and forth, and the theory behind that in this particular article that I saw was that they were going to end up becoming some type of spy for the Chinese
Uh-huh.
army.
They raised the kid to hate
Uh huh.
America over in China, even though
Right.
they have a birthright citizenship to America. And then they
Correct.
come back as adults, get an education while all hating America to implement communism. And it could be considered a conspiracy. There is some logic to it. I could see how it would work. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a lot of money to put into it, and to get that many started, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of work. And now China, you have to have express permission from the Chinese government to even be allowed to step foot out of their country. You're
Right.
not allowed to leave your country. But, if this started back before that was implemented, I could see, yeah,
I
them
mean,
maybe
this,
taking advantage
yeah,
like
if
that.
this has been going on since 1866, how many birthrights are there? Um,
Play Wii
this is going to be
Sports.
an interesting case. I listened to it. They were having issues. Uh, they had 2 points on how they were going to present the case, whether the states were going to do it or if the federal government was going to do it. I don't know the outcome of that yet. Roberts had been talking, and so was what's his name? Yeah,
Alito?
I don't remember one of them. How about one of the justices? We'll go with that. How does that work? One of the justices was asking questions. Um,
Oh my god.
there's only so much info that I can I mean, I could have backup to the backup to the backup. You guys need to realize I'm doing
Yeah.
a lot of this between, 12 a.m. and 7 a.m. and no sleep for 3 days and deciding what to pull and not to pull and what makes sense. And, at the time, we're knowledgeable about what we're talking about and then we don't get to it. This is 2 weeks old already. Um,
No, it's only not
No,
even a
the
week.
other
It's a
one.
day.
I'm
It's
sorry.
6
I
days.
apologize. I
Oh, the
apologize.
other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes materials older than what we have that gets put out. And so we're like, oh, what was this about? What's this video? And at the time, we know what we're talking about. But then when it gets put up there, we're both like, have no clue what this is about. So you guys have to bear with us as we
Today
work
was a
through.
surprise. We don't know what
Yeah,
we're talking about either day.
right. So as we're going through growing pains and deciding there's a lot to do. It's just the two of us, and both doing research, and we're both crazy bees doing editing and work in the studio. And I don't know, what do I do?
I'm
Do I do
also still
anything?
trying to get switched over to Linux
Right,
completely.
right.
That's been fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I don't think I do anything, do I?
Oh.
What do I do? I don't
Oh,
know.
you do a lot of research.
Yeah,
Yes, you do. You do most of the research. I just do
yeah.
the other end.
So it just is, it's a lot. One thing, I mean, on my tablet, I have 136 tabs open, and on my phone, I have 498.
You might want to start closing some of those. They're
Yeah,
all spying on you while they're
I
open.
don't care. At this point, once you got fingerprinted, it's over. You know what I mean? It's done. They,
And they fingerprinted most of us for
yep,
school
yep.
until the DNA thing came out. And then they started DNA testing all the kids
Mm-hmm.
for tracking and child abduction purposes. Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they started that with the baby. You should have seen they
Hmm.
had to wear bracelets. He's had a bracelet on his ankle, a bracelet on his wrist, fingerprints, footprints. What else did they do to him for security? Uh,
Blood
no,
samples on file.
there was monitor on
Oh,
his,
yeah, they have those little tracking chips too
yeah.
that they put
They,
in some of the bracelets or something.
well, this was attached to his umbilical cord. Okay.
Oh, the clamp has the
Yes.
tracker. I'd
Yes.
heard about those.
The clamp
Yes.
had the tracker so that if you took him, they knew that he was,
If they leave the maternity floor, there's
uh-huh.
an alert that goes off at the
Yeah,
nurse's station.
exactly. Or if he even left like the room, if they brought him to the room, they had to be called in order for them to, take him back. So, and the parents had to have bracelets as well. So,
Yep.
the whole week that they were in the hospital, that they had that. Yep.
Do you know how many children have accidentally been swapped over the years and no one knew about it? But because this is before the tracking bracelets and stuff happened in the what, 60s is when they started the bracelets.
Oh, I have no idea about the bracelets when they did that.
But before that, how many kids?
I have no clue.
Yeah,
No
it's
clue.
wild. It's
Hmm.
wild to think about how many of your ancestors aren't actually blood related because they got swapped at birth.
Yeah,
Interesting thought.
yes, it is. Alrighty, what's up next there?
Um, we have the option of doing a 9-minute video, or we can do that Navy second in command. Which one would you prefer?
It's almost 4:51. Why don't you throw that one special video up?
Oh, the one that you wanted, the
Yeah, yeah. That I
one
thought
with
I
the
was going to
app.
do that I thought I was going to do in the middle. I just wanted
Oh, that
everybody,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
Where'd I put that?
So, yeah, here comes the rain again. So, I just wanted everybody to be prepared. You'll get a better picture of this later, but uh, this is what we're going to be dealing with.
Hold on. Where did it go? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. All
Oh,
right, we're gonna do this again. I
don't worry
swear
about
I
it.
saved it here, and now I can't find it. Where in the blazing glory of goodness? I literally put it in for today's videos.
We'll
And it
show it tomorrow.
vanished.
We'll show it
No,
tomorrow.
I got it.
Okay.
Hold on. There's a better way. Screw this. Watch this. Um, where is it? We're gonna just re-download it really fast. It takes all of 2 seconds.
Oh, the audience probably won't even care anyway.
Oh, they'll be here.
So, as a reminder, the countdown has started. So we have 6 days left till baby JJ starts, and oh, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very nervous. And then I think it's June. I don't know, June 6th, 8th, something like that. Then we have this. You have that ready, Crazy B?
Um, I literally just downloaded it and it's saying it's not there. Hold on.
All right, don't worry about it. Play something else.
No, I'm determined. I'm determined. Where did I put it? It's in the downloads. Why? Okay. It is legitimately there.
Crazy B.
Uh-oh, you lost me?
No, I'm here.
Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
Put something
Okay.
else up while you work on that. You got an article?
Nope, I got a better way. Watch this shit. This is how you tell them to take a flying leap. Give me 1 second. I gotta enlarge this to full screen. I need to
One
bump
moment,
up the
please. We are
audio.
experiencing technical difficulties again.
Always. When do we not? Entire screen. Share the audio. And here we go. Ready?
This is what you're going to be dealing with next.
Little boy doing little boy shit.
I love it.
I don't hear anything, but
yeah, it might be hard to hear.
Okay, so that is Wild Man who will be joining us along with his little baby brother. I was hoping that would have played quicker. I apologize for taking up too much time, but the parent,
It shows it's in the folder, but for some reason it won't play the
yeah,
media. So I had to go about it in a different route.
I
I
understand.
made it work.
The parents failed to get him signed up for any type of camp and decided without asking me that I would watch him as well. So if
He can learn and chime in.
well, no. So if I don't speak to you guys again after, I don't know, June 15th or something like that, you know that I just walked right off the bridge. So, because I figure I'm going to lose my frickin' mind.
Nah.
Yeah.
You love them both.
I know, but we got to play teacher, take care of him, try to research, do all of this. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off. Plus, be sick at the same time. How does that all work? Go figure.
Very carefully.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Very, very carefully.
Yep.
God dang. Sorry, my lungs
My
really
mom
hate me.
Yeah, my mother was young. You know, I was 26, she was 46, so.
I was 21. Actually, I'm 42. My son's 21. He was literally born 21 year. I was 21 when I had my oldest.
Yeah. I was 26. Yep. Oh well. Shit happens. Anyway, what else do we got?
We have the option of the body language video, which is 9 minutes, or we can do that Robert Burke dude that you are also irritated with.
Oh yeah, why don't we go out with being pissed off too? Maybe I'll get some energy perked back up.
let me pull him up. Where did he go? Oh, where's that picture? Where's that video of him? Oh, you've got to be kidding. Where did it go? Okay. Hold on. Was it a video or was it just a link? Hold on. Let me double check something. Oh, it's not a video. It's an article. Okay. That makes sense. Here we go.
Okay, so
Let me pull this. Oh, damn it. I'm a dumbass today. Here we go. Now we can do this.
okay, so yesterday I found this early in the morning. Navy's former number 2 admiral was convicted of bribery and conspiracy. And this is from the Navy Stars and Stripes. Oops. This is our man there, Robert Burke. Served as the 40th Vice Chief of Naval Operations from June of 2019 to June of 2020. He was found guilty by a federal jury in Washington on May 19th of 2025 of charges of bribery and conspiracy to commit bribery. You
do
know
you
what?
want to read or do you want to listen?
Yeah, let's listen to it. I'm curious how it comes over. Let's hear it. One moment, please. We are going to experiment on the podcast on how, when we click listen, how that comes through. So please, audience, bear with us.
Oh, hold on. JJ says, I was 32 when our first boy, 34 years together total. Mrs. RSV and I courted for 12 years until we were settled. Nice.
JJ, you're a baby. I'll be 43 years in July. Come on.
Well, we don't know how long ago 32 was because 12 years at 30. If you figure the baby was born right after getting settled down, so 34 minus 12 puts you at what, 22 at the time, or no? Yeah, 32 minus 12 is since 20 years old.
Yeah.
Total of 34 years to I could do the math, but I'm gonna stop. Anyways.
Yeah, so I'll be married 43 years in July, and I will be together 50 years in November.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Art goes, you're not allowed to experiment on me. That happened back in 2020 and I'm still upset. We're not going to experiment on you. I was in the Navy that time too. Wow. So you were in the Navy through all everything together stuff. Nice. All right, let's listen in.
Let's see how this comes through.
Navy's former number 2 admiral convicted of bribery and conspiracy. Washington, a retired 4-star admiral who once was the Navy's second highest ranking officer, was convicted of federal bribery and conspiracy charges in a scheme to direct lucrative contracts to a training company in exchange for a $500,000 a year job. Robert Burke, who served as the 40th Vice Chief of Naval Operations from June 2019 to June 2020, was found guilty Monday by a federal jury in Washington of single charges of bribery and conspiracy to commit bribery. Burke is facing up to 30 years in prison for his role in a plan to direct contracts potentially worth millions of dollars to a New York City-based company that offered training programs to the Navy. In return for his help, Burke was hired by the company, Next Jump, for $500,000 a year and was given lucrative stock options and other benefits after he left the Navy, the Justice Department said in a statement Monday. Burke, who led naval forces in Europe and Africa from 2020 until his retirement in 2022, was also convicted of charges of performing acts affecting a personal financial interest and concealing material facts from the United States. When you abuse your position and betray the public trust to line your own pockets, it undermines the confidence in the government you represent, U.S. Attorney Janine Ferris-Pirro said following the 5-day trial. Our office, with our law enforcement partners, will root out corruption, be it bribes or illegal contracts, and hold accountable the perpetrators, no matter what title or rank they hold. U.S. District Judge Trevor McFadden set Burke's sentencing for August 22. Burke's attorney Timothy Parlatore described the verdict as a miscarriage of justice, adding that the prosecution intentionally withheld information from the jury and only presented them with sliver of the truth. This jury should have heard more. They should have heard a lot more. But we were prevented from showing the jury the full picture, Parlatore told Stars and Stripes. Parlatore said jurors heard only 3 snippets of a more than 2-hour interview Burke agreed to give to investigators in which he defended his conduct. The quotes Parlatore said were taken out of context and left the jury with a false impression of the conversation. Parlatore sought to have the jury listen to the full interview or at a minimum additional parts of the interview to put those quotes into context, but the judge did not allow it. Parlatore said he will appeal Burke's conviction. Burke is only the second Navy admiral ever convicted of a federal crime committed on active duty. The first was Admiral Robert Gilboa, who was sentenced to 18 months in prison in May 2017 after admitting he lied in telling federal officials he had never received any gifts from a Malaysian businessman. The businessman known as Fat Leonard was at the center of a massive bribery scandal involving Navy officers over a period of years. In a trial brief filed days before Burke's trial began, federal prosecutors said the defendant conspired with Yongchul Charlie Kim and Megan Messenger, co-CEOs of NextJump, to direct a $355,135 contract to the company for training programs in Rota, Spain, and Naples, Italy, as part of a 3-phase plan to garner more work with the Navy. Burke subsequently wrote an admiral responsible for training sailors to promote NextJump in the second phase of the plan. He also contacted a high-ranking official of a foreign military to promote the company, prosecutors said. With the first 2 phases of the plan complete, Kim and Messenger offered Burke the job as outlined in a July 2021 lunch meeting in Washington, D.C. Burke went to work for NextJump a few months after his retirement before resigning in January 2023, court records show. Kim and Messenger each are facing separate counts of bribery and conspiracy to commit bribery, punishable by up to 20 years in prison. Their trial is set for August 18. In September, Judge McFadden granted the pair's motion to be tried separately from Burke. The two claimed that they couldn't get a fair trial alongside Burke because evidence used against him would likely sway a jury to convict them by association. In a separate filing, Burke agreed to separate the cases, saying that Kim's and Messenger's planned defenses were fundamentally conflicting and irreconcilable to his own. Burke maintained that he, Kim and Messenger didn't do anything wrong, and that official discussions about a job with NextJump did not happen until May 2022, well after the contract for training in Naples and Rota was completed. The Navy didn't pursue additional training. But in their July 19 motion for a separate trial, Kim and Messenger agreed with the government's claim that the job offer was made during a July 23, 2021, lunch meeting, attended not only by Burke but also by a senior civilian Navy official. Kim and Messenger argue that Burke knowingly misled them into believing that discussions about future employment were allowed, even while Burke supervised active contract negotiations with their company.
Okay.
Okay, so first, before we get into the story, because I have no idea what the hell went on, because I am not an auditory learner, and he actually lulled me to sleep, so,
basically they took bribes and
I
gifts
know the
from
story,
foreign.
but, yeah, I know the
Yeah.
story, but I'm just saying from that standpoint, and that's one reason why we try to give you, both video and we try to give you a,
Article of some sort.
an article of some sort. Even if we read it aloud, you can at least follow through with it, or all of our content is in the description listed below. So we try to give you, other than you listening to us banter offline or off topic, I should say, about eyelashes and kids and, babies crying and the cats screaming and the rain pouring down. We you get a little bit of everything, I think.
It's fun.
Yeah, I didn't care for this. He was just dull to me. So I don't know. What does anybody in the chat have anything to say about it?
Actually, Art did. There was contradictions in the article.
Okay.
I have it pulled up.
Yeah.
He says, unless you want to read it.
No, go ahead.
Art says there's contradictions in the article. It starts by saying he was retired. Then it says he was in He is the first to be prosecuted in uniform. Civilian court suggests he wasn't on active duty. JJ says there should have been an NDA prior to his resignation from the Navy. Why didn't they? Yeah, those are the two.
I want to know how he made $500,000. Well, my boss made that much. He made more than that, but that's a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it helps to turn the power cord on. That's why. There we go. Now we got some power going to the electronics. All right,
Okay.
it's 5:07. How much do we have left?
We still have
Don't say it. Count them. How many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Jeez. That goes to Friday.
Yep.
Unless, okay, so tomorrow when you get done with your special report, feel
We'll
free
cover
to
a little bit more.
Yes, feel free to take whatever you would like to and go from there. All right?
I will do so.
All right, and I will not be around. So Crazy Bee's in charge. So I'd appreciate everybody helping her out because she's gonna need it. See, you hear that evil laugh? Look out! Who knows what's gonna happen? So, all right,
I'll behave. I won't indoctrinate anyone or
all right. Try
teach them
not to.
anything bad, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that happens up on the Discord, right?
Yeah, that's what the Discord's for.
There you go. All right, I'm done. I'm out for today. I'm
I
going.
do believe I am as well. I'm starting to wheeze again and my face is swelling, even though I've taken allergy medicine. So
All
I might
right,
have
well,
to take a
feel better.
Benadryl on top of the rest of it.
Okay, feel better. You're going to pass out then. So I will talk to you in the morning. How's that?
Sounds like a good plan.
All
So
right.
y'all stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. I'm about to go drug myself.
All right. And I'm out. Have a good evening, everybody. Good night.
Good night.